Hey everybody, it's Tiffany here. I just wanted to give you all an update. I did have surgery this past week and everything went fine. I'm pretty much going through the motions, the same thing that I went through last summer, this time, almost a year ago, with dealing with the new look of my arms. I know it's still a lot of healing that has to take place, and I'm actually stitched up now. It's not as bad as it was last summer when I had both armpits done, but it is still different. Still a surgery, still took place. I'm stitched up pretty good now. I'll try to give you a preview, see if you can see it. Under there, you can see this part is stitched up pretty good. This is my old scar under there. You can see how far under there the stitches go. So that dark spot you see, that's the old wound. I'm going to give you an example on my other arm here. At the top is where I was having trouble on this arm. So they removed a portion that they had left the last surgery I had. So there was a portion up here that was undone, and then the scar at the bottom. So this new flare-up came right in the middle of the portion that was left and the scar. So they removed the portion that was left all the way down to the scarring. So dealing with tape again, dealing with bandage changes and whatnot, pain meds. I haven't needed the pain meds too much, but this time it's really sore, and I think it's probably because it's running so close to the scar that I already had from last time. Yeah, so I was hoping I wouldn't be doing a video about another surgery, but here I am. And I wanted to give some insight or some suggestions to those of you who maybe have found my page because you're being diagnosed with HS, with hidradenitis suppurativa, and you're contemplating surgery as an option because maybe antibiotics and other drugs haven't helped thus far. So I'm going to give you a couple tidbits, some things that you might want to consider, and whether or not I believe surgery is worth it. Personally, I tried Humira. Humira caused me to have a lot of stomach pain. I tried it on 2 separate occasions, and I did not have good results with either time. Just entirely too much stomach pain, gastro issues, and I got off of it. The incision and drainage little procedures that they do in the dermatologist or either surgeon's office, they were just too painful for me. Once that numbing medication wore off, I would be in a lot of pain, and I was getting these things done pretty much like once or twice a month. And they would just alternate arms. I've told you before on a few of my videos that my HS seemed to take turns. Once one arm got relief, the other arm would act up. So my doctor, my dermatologist, he recommended surgery. And the surgeons that I see, the surgeon that I see at the VA, he was not shy about saying, yeah, let's do the operation and get this thing out. Do I believe surgery is worth it? Yes. For my condition, the stage that I was in, I believe that the surgery has helped tremendously. It's been a year since my surgery on both armpits, and it's been just shy of a year that I've had to deal with bandage changes and all of the things that come with having HS on a regular basis. I haven't had any flare-ups. I've been fine. Just recently, I came under some stress, and I had a teeny tiny little bump, probably smaller than this piercing right here, and I felt it, and I was praying that it was just a hair bump, maybe. Within a week, it went from something this size to something about the size of an egg within a week. First day of my cruise. And so I noticed this beginning of June, end of April, and I had to have a visitor, sorry.
Mommy.
Okay, you need to wait a second, son. Go back downstairs. I'm coming. And sorry about that. And within a week, well, what started in the April, end of May. I'm sorry, started end of May, and I had surgery on June 28th. So within a week, I was well aware that it was a real flare up. It wasn't a hair bump or maybe just a sore spot. It was HS at its finest. And it took me about another week or 2 weeks to get seen in the surgeon. And then, yeah, a week later, I got seen in the surgeon's office. And then 2 weeks later, we did the surgery, which was just this past Thursday. So that's that. I haven't dealt with the bandage changes in a year or so. My quality of life improved tremendously. I was feeling like myself again. I was starting to enjoy exercising again like I normally do, or what the type of exercising that I normally prefer, put it that way. And I just had an issue with my scars. Basically, this summertime, I live in Florida. I have on sleeveless shirts and dresses and whatnot most of the time. And, if I scratch my head or raise my hand or something, I mean, it's noticeable. I have these pretty deep scars. So that was probably the only thing I was dealing with the scars. But it gave me an opportunity to really share the truth of HS and that many of us are battling this disease and you never know it because of the location of it. And some of us have endured surgery. And so, yes, I have my scars, and they're here. And I'm not really worried about the scars. I'm more nervous about the days when I can barely get the bandages off because the tape hurts so bad. Like now, I don't know if you can see it, but these marks, red marks on my arm, that's from the tape. I don't know if I'm allergic to it or what. I did a video, one of my earlier vlogs about HS, and I was itching real bad. And I think I was just allergic to the tape, to the adhesive. I don't know. But aside from that, not having to deal with a lot of bandage changes, quality of life improving. My HS wasn't as severe as some others might be, where they have it in multiple locations and they have to get surgery done in stages. But it made me feel better again. It made me feel like my old self again. And just this surgery here has made me realize how far I've come, but also how depressing HS can really be with having to have the surgeries and whatnot. People are like, oh, you having surgery again? Or what are you having surgery on? You look fine. Or, oh, I can't tell you just had surgery. Those things, you know, it can be kind of isolating. And I have a very supportive spouse, but I'm the only one dealing with it, he sees what I go through. He helps me with my bandage changes. He's involved in my appointments and whatnot. But the pain, that's all mine. I deal with that. So if surgery would or could at least just give you some peace of mind about what you're going through, it can lighten the load a little bit. I highly recommend it. You need to get you a good dermatologist. You need to get a good surgeon or surgery team, someplace where you're comfortable. I don't know if HS is prominent in the military or the veteran community, but I go to the VA hospital. My surgeon there, they're like, I asked him when he saw me again, he was like, oh, Mrs. Broussard, it's been a year, we're back here, huh? He's like, yeah, we're back, and I showed him the spot. He was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and get this one out. And I said, have you been busy with HS a lot? He said, yeah, actually I have. He said, we've had a lot of surgeries on the head, the scalp. So if you can find you a good surgeon, a good plastic surgeon to help you with this, it will make it that much easier to make your decision. And someone who understands the complexities of this skin disease and who's willing to listen to you and not just be so quick to cut on you, but that's what the surgeon does, they cut. I'm grateful for the surgeon that I have. I'm grateful for the dermatologist that I have. Well, he's not at the VA hospital, but I know if I wanted to see him again, I could see him. So those are some things to really consider. HS is just one of those things where there's no right or wrong way to deal with it. You just kind of got to figure out what works for you. for me, my condition, the HS would not get better with simple treatments, topical treatments, Humira, antibiotics. Nothing was helping it. And I could lift my arms up and you not even be able to tell anything was there, because all of my issues, my pain, the flare-ups, the lumps, the bumps, all of that was on the inside. So to the naked eye, you couldn't see anything until you touched the spot. And then you could see or feel what I was really dealing with. And then it was still only to a small degree, because you're like, oh, it just feels like a few lumps, but the pain, I can't even explain the amount of pain that I was in most days. So anyway, just wanted to give you all an update. Yes, the surgery is done. I go back this week for them to look at it. I expect to have the stitches in probably for about another 5 weeks or so. The last surgery I had, they had to take some of the stitches out to facilitate more draining. And then once they took those stitches out, the whole thing just kind of unraveled. And I've talked about that in some of my other videos, where it was very tough because pretty much had a gaping wound in my arm, and the stitches were still kind of hanging there, but it just popped open. So hopefully this one, it doesn't, I can't really lift my arm up that much, but just so you can kind of get a good glimpse, you can see where the stitches are. It runs all the way to the back here. That's my old scar and the new scar on top of it. So I'm giving y'all a whole eye full today. So anyway, I'm well. Dealing with some soreness, as you could imagine. And as you saw, my son, oh, you heard, my son ran in the room, so I still got to do mom's stuff. But I'm hanging in there. So I hope this video finds you in good spirits. For those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, I'm pretty responsive, so you can go ahead and leave me a comment below. If you have questions or want me to talk about other things that I've experienced with the surgeries and whatnot, or my HS altogether, please feel free to request it. I'm an open book. So, happy Sunday. I will talk to you later.